Hi friends, this is Vijay Nagpal and welcome to Cloud Labs. In today's session, we will talk about Azure PowerShell. We will discuss what are the prerequisites to install Azure PowerShell, and also I will demonstrate how we can install Azure PowerShell on Windows machine and how we can create a virtual machine using Azure PowerShell commandlets. And then finally, I will run some Azure PowerShell commands to perform the task in Azure. What is PowerShell? Azure PowerShell is nothing, it's just an extension of Windows PowerShell, and that has the set of commandlets which you can use to manage Azure resources, and you can simplify and automate the management of Azure cloud resources. There are some prerequisites which you need to have in your system to install Azure PowerShell. If you want to install Azure PowerShell on your Windows system, then you need to have Windows PowerShell version 5.1 or later. If you want to use Azure PowerShell on Windows, Mac OS or Linux, then you should have version 6.2.4. Also, you need to have .NET Framework 4.7.2 and make sure you have the latest version of PowerShell Get. Let me show you now how we can check the prerequisites and how we can install the Azure PowerShell. I have logged into one of my Windows 2012 server, which I am using as a jump box to connect to Azure. Let me open Windows PowerShell and run as administrator. First, let me check what version of PowerShell I am running on my Windows server. I can use the command get-host. I can see I am using version 4.0, but I need to have 5.1 to install Azure PowerShell. So this is the outdated version I have on my servers. I need to have PowerShell version 5.1. You can install Windows PowerShell 5.1 using the installation package for the Windows Management Framework. So I have already downloaded Windows Management Framework 5.1 on my server. So I will install this. Accept the terms. Because I am installing Windows Management Framework 5.1, so it will automatically install PowerShell version 5.1. It will take some time to install. So I will pause the video for now and will come back once this installation will be done. The installation is done and I will go ahead and restart my server. Let me see now if I have PowerShell version 5.1. I will open PowerShell, run as administrator again. I will run the command get-host. And now we can see we have version 5.1. So we are good now and we can install Azure PowerShell. To install Azure PowerShell, we need to run the command install -module name Azure RM. Sometimes you get this error when you try to download the module. So there are a few commands to fix this issue. I will use these commands one by one and then we'll see if we can download these installer files. Let's try to install Azure PowerShell module now. Type Y and press enter. This time it should install all the modules. You see, this is showing as untrusted repository because this is the first time we are installing. So I will type A for yes to all. It has started downloading the packages now. Because it's downloading all the packages, so it will take some time. So now Azure PowerShell module has been installed. So let me connect to Azure using Azure PowerShell. I will run the command to connect to Azure. Connect -Azure RM account. It will prompt you for username and password. I will provide my username and type in the password. So I'm able to connect to my Azure with the subscription. I have MSDN subscription, so I can see the tenant ID. Let me run some commands to see if I can get the information. First I'll run the command get-azure rmvm. This will give me the list of the VMs which I am running on Azure. So I got the details for my VMs. I got the name, location, whether it's running in East US or West US, what type of VM size I have, what is the OS, whether it's Windows or Linux. Now I will create a VM using Azure PowerShell, and the command to create a VM is new-azure rmvm. Provide the name which you want to give to your virtual machine. I will name it as jumpbox. And also we need to provide the credential which will require to connect to your virtual machine. We'll give the name as jumpbox user and we'll type in the password. Now you can see it has started creating the virtual machine in the backend. It will take some time, so I will pause the video for now and will come back once this will be finished. The VM has been created now. Let's log into the portal and see if the VM is visible there. I have logged into Azure portal, go to virtual machine. Here I can see the virtual machine jumpbox has been created and it's in running state. Now let's go back to Azure PowerShell and type the command get-azure rmvm. Here you can see only we had 3 VMs, now we have created one more, so we should be able to see 4 VMs now. Here you go. Right. One last thing, I will show you how we can stop the virtual machine using the PowerShell command. Stop-azure rmvm and the resource group name, jumpbox, and the VM name was also jumpbox. It's asking for the confirmation whether I want to stop this or not. I will type yes. It will stop the VM in the backend. So let's refresh this page. Pretty soon the status will be stopped here. Let's see what's the status here. It may take some time to stop the VM. Now you can see the status is deallocating and it will be stopped soon. You can see the status is succeeded. VM has been stopped. I will refresh the page. And the VM is in stopped state now. That's it for today and thank you for watching this video.